Hey guys, it's Becky here with Design Bundles, and I'm super excited to have you join me today because I have for you my top 5 favorite tips and tricks for designing in Cricut Design Space. So whether you're a beginner or you are more advanced, this is definitely one you don't want to miss. Hey guys, so I'm really glad, like I said, to have you join me today in Cricut Design Space. And the reason I'm glad is because designing is probably one of my favorite things to do and then also to teach. And a lot of crafters feel very limited in Cricut Design Space. So hopefully some of you will feel a little bit more liberal regarding Cricut Design Space and the different features that are here. So I will tell you that this is going to be a very quick and a very easy video because, lucky for you, I already have separate videos on a lot of these techniques. So consider this more like a roundup, like, hey, if you are interested in setting up your own designs or getting started as a designer, then these are some techniques, if you're used to working in Cricut Design Space, that you can focus on and really enhance to set yourself up for success. So, with that being said, probably my very favorite tool in Cricut Design Space is the slice tool. Now, it is going to be down here. It is on your bottom right-hand toolbar. And let me tell you more about the things you can do with the slice tool. So the slice tool is very useful for creating shapes that need a pattern on the inside, or even subtracting the pattern from the shape itself. These make really awesome designs, especially if you enjoy weeding, or you just like the complex look of using mandalas. You can also crop down photos to fit certain shapes. And then of course, it's really great for creating your own distress designs, just like you see here. Overall, the slice tool is just the perfect tool anytime you are trying to figure out how to combine two elements. It may take a little bit of experimenting, but I know with a little bit of practice, you guys can get the hang of it and really learn how versatile this tool is. Now let's move on to my second all-time favorite tool, and that is going to be fonts. Fonts are, I feel like they're very underestimated in terms of designing. But we have a really awesome video to show you how to get the most out of your fonts and text. And just to demonstrate for you a few elements we have here, the hearts are part of a dingbat font, as well as the banner in the background. And then of course this is a really awesome script font. And then the happy and day are part of a really neat decorative regular font. And when you combine elements and get them to work together, then you really end up with an awesome design. Now, I also want to say it's very important with fonts as a designer to make sure that you're using designs that come with that premium license. And that is what is going to allow you to be able to use fonts to sell and do as a business. Okay, so just make sure that you're researching where you're getting your fonts from. Of course, I love getting my fonts from Design Bundles and Font Bundles because I know that I'm, given that type of usage there. All right, so just something to chew over, but make sure you check out that video. We have a lot of really great information on using fonts and getting the most out of your hard-earned money. Now, this designing tool requires a workaround, but being able to create an offset. All right, now this is one that is very in demand, and of course our workaround takes a little bit of time. So if you are more familiar with Inkscape or Silhouette Studio, then this can definitely be achieved, from what I understand, a lot easier in those types of softwares. But we do have a workaround video for you that will help you achieve an offset look that you can offset your designs. Now, an offset is this border that works its way evenly around your entire design. And not only can you use it for designs, but you can also set up things like planner stickers. And that, in my opinion, is very useful. That way you can create your own stickers and you don't have to worry about not having that traditional sticker border all the way around. So definitely a lot of really great ideas that come from using the offset tool. And coming in at number 4 is going to be your contour. Contour is located down here in the very far bottom right-hand corner. And don't let this description fool you. There are a lot of things you can use contour for, but most commonly, designers like to use it so that they can separate out single color designs into multiple colors. And you guessed it, in case you didn't pick up on this already, we do have a pretty awesome tutorial on how to do this for you. But of course, this is also how you can, access or remove parts of a design that are all grouped and welded together. So Contour is definitely the designer's friend because it unlocks some additional features to be able to, access and remove different pieces of a design. And then number 5 is more of a compilation of little tidbits that I have picked up over my relatively short amount of time of using Cricut Design Space. But these are things that I have learned and they're not apparent when you first get started. So I'm going to go ahead and show them to you. First is that you have control over your grid by clicking in the top left corner of your canvas with your ruler. And you can control your look. Now, I usually keep my grid off just because that's what I prefer. I'm a visual person and I just like to have a nice white background, okay? But just know that that is there. You also can change the background color of your canvas. Again, I'm a visual person, so I like to be able to switch that color. That way, if I'm trying to envision a design on a shirt that maybe is going to be navy or black or red, then I can switch the canvas color and it helps me visualize everything a little bit better. But basically, I can click on this right here. And what I get is up here on the top toolbar, there's a color option. And I think that's why it's so easy to overlook, because even if I had clicked there before, I would not have come up here to look for a color option. But here we go. You can select whatever color and it will change the color of your canvas. And then of course you can change it back when you're done if that's something that you want to do. And we'll say last but not least, this is going to be my final little tidbit of information, is over here using the color sync. Okay, now this may not be as big of a deal for some people, but if I happen to be working with a design that has multiple colors, then I really like the ability to come over to color sync and to be able to combine some of these colors together if I want. Now, being able to drag and drop these just makes it so easy. What I used to do is wait until I went over to make it, and then I would be able to combine them into mats together. But ever since I found this, it just became like my new favorite tool ever. And let me just show you an example. For this project in particular, all the areas that are colored, I actually cut that out of a pattern heat transfer vinyl. So instead of ungrouping and having to turn it all the same color, I'm able to just drag and drop all of this into one color. And you can even just grab the color bar along the left hand side, and it's going to sync all of these colors together so that I can cut them all at one time. And I just feel like this is much easier than, like I said, ungrouping and selecting them all and changing them all manually. So super easy. And of course, here was my finished project, just in case you were wondering how that turned out. It is by far one of my favorite projects to date, and I really love it, and I love how easy Cricut Design Space made it for me to be able to combine those colors. So guys, that was 5 really great tips, probably my favorite hacks for designing. Just to recap, we covered the things that you can do with the slice tool. We covered a few examples of things that you can do with fonts. We also talked about our workaround for being able to create an offset. We talked about the contour and what you would be able to use it for. And last but not least, we recapped 3 what I consider really awesome tools that are not immediately obvious in the Cricut Design Space software. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and wrap it up. So guys, how did you feel about my 5 favorite tips and tricks for designing in Cricut Design Space? Now, I know a lot of you guys feel limited. I hear that a lot, that people think that Cricut Design Space is limited, and you have to remember it is not a true graphic design software. But with a little bit of thinking outside the box, there's actually quite a bit that you can do right in the software without having to worry about learning something extra, okay? So this is perfect for beginners. It's a great way for you guys to kind of test out the waters. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, please make sure you leave those below. I do absolutely love to hear from you guys, as well as video requests, okay? If you have any video requests, I will take all of those as well. Just bring them right on in. So guys, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, share with a friend. Let's keep this little crafty channel going because I love bringing you these videos. And guys, Hey, I just appreciate every time you take a moment out of your day to stop by and pay us a visit. And I'm going to wrap it up, but we will see you again next time.